Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, February 22nd, and it is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful morning. How are you doing? You doing good? I've got the coffee here, enjoying it on the back patio. You can see it's steaming. Yeah, microwaved coffee. By the time we get coffee talk going, I've already been sipping on this for 2 hours. Jeez. I don't even want to tell you because somebody's going to be like, there's bacteria in there. It's bad for you. Anyway, let's talk about the top two things that we're watching today. Of course, we know it is an absolutely wonderful start. The weather outside, gorgeous, no problemo. But just like yesterday, we are talking about the building heat in Central Florida. That said, let's just pop outside, see what's doing. This is our Tower Cam Network. We're looking into downtown Orlando, a little bit of high, thin cloudiness, haze, whatever you want to call it. But otherwise, it is a blue sky. These temperatures outside are looking just unreal, aren't they? We're at 66 degrees in the city, 59 degrees in the Villages, 58 degrees in Ocala, about 62 in Daytona Beach, 66 degrees in Titusville. And once again, into the lower 70s for us back over to Melbourne. That onshore breeze, that does it every single time. Every time it gives you just a little bit of a warmer temperature. Nikki, good morning to you. Frankie, good morning. How are you? Marie, good morning. Kenneth, how are you? Cindy, good morning. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope you're having a great start to the day. No problemo on radar this morning, so we can pass right on that and move on. Take a look at our 12-hour forecast, which today is looking great once again. We're not into record territory, but we are most certainly into above average territory. 77 by 11 o'clock, 80 degrees by 1 o'clock, 84 degrees our temperature by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Why is Stella wigging out? I don't know if you could hear her. I'm on the back patio. She's inside. She's barking her head off. Like, dude, there's nobody in the house. At any rate, today looking great. A breeze out of the east-southeast running 10 to 15 miles an hour. If you've got outdoor plans, it's going to be a great one. Beverly, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. John, good morning. Coffee Talkers, good morning to you, John. David, Beverly, hope you're doing well. Beverly says, nice day today over here in Winter Park. I concur. It's gorgeous outside. It really is. Nancy, good morning to you. Pat, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Joyce says, good morning, everybody. I'm off for the next 2 days, going to work on my crafts. That sounds great. That sounds like a great time. Do things that fill your soul, right? Find things that fill you up. Tracy says, woo, good morning. Got a sunburn yesterday when I took my little guy to the park. Lesson learned. Don't forget the sunblock. It's true. Because no matter what the temperatures are, which, you know, they are getting warmer and warmer, but no matter what the temperatures are, you can get a sunburn fairly quickly, fairly easily. So let's talk about temperatures today. Speaking of that, yes, once again, you can get a sunburn. Here's a look at those readings. We're making it up to 84 degrees in the city, beautiful. 84 degrees out west in Leesburg. Notice the interior areas, lower to mid-80s. Along the shoreline, not quite as toasty. We'll be in the upper 70s for us with that onshore breeze. It'll feel great. It will look great. This is the stuff that dreams are made of. Leon says it's good to see you drinking coffee. I have to sip on it super slow, but I'm grateful to be drinking coffee. Everybody told me the exact same thing, which is that this is my surgery, of course. It's a process. You know, that's the way that works. Good morning. Wonderful coffee talkers. Denise says, another wonderful day. It's true. Phyllis, I'm drinking coffee, yeah. The barking, maybe the dog wants to be outside. Well, it's true, Beverly, but she usually doesn't bark. She's usually pretty good at... Here's the thing. Because she was barking at the other dogs, I put her inside for coffee talk, you know. If she was good outside without barking at the other dogs, I wouldn't have done that. But I don't want her barking the entire time. I want to have an effective opportunity to chat with you. So, yeah, that's why she's inside. Autumn, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Take your lunch outside day. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. It will get better with time. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so there you go. Average high 76. We're doing 84 this afternoon in the city. Again, nice and warm. But this is just the beginning of a trend. We are going to be trending up, 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 and away. Let's take a look over the next couple of days. We'll watch those temperatures climb from 84 today to 88 degrees on Thursday, and then it gets even warmer. Yeah, well above average temperatures. This is a nice toasty stretch. Take a look at temperatures over these next couple of days, okay? So today, 84, looking nice and warm. Tomorrow, 87, looking nice and warm. 88 on Thursday, 89 degrees on Friday. Yeah, near records each one of those days, indeed. Earl, this weather is just right outside to enjoy my day off. Hey, you know, I'm sitting out here. It's like I'm going to come out on the back patio. Pool isn't running yet. I'm sure it'll kick on at some point here shortly. And then the pool heater will kick on. Pool's sitting, well, by the time that it heats back up, the pool will be up to 87 degrees. But I've got it covered up. The hose is there because I had to add water. Do you have a pool heater? If so, let me tell you, like, I don't make any money on this, but those covers, mine, I could have made it look a little prettier for you. I apologize for that. But the pool covers, let me tell you something. Talk about a saver in terms of saving the evaporation a little bit, and in addition to that, not allowing the water temperatures to drop quite as much overnight. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. So this week, the overall weather pattern is this. The hottest air of the year is in place with that near record heat. But this pattern does shift. Looking ahead to next week, we get into some of the cooler temperatures once again. Remember, we are not yet to summer. We're not yet to spring. It's February 22nd. We're almost done with meteorological winter. Okay? But we're not quite there to meteorological spring. I did, by the way, we've talked about the graphics. I did make the graphics. I did make the meteorological spring, meteorological summer, and meteorological fall graphics. So those are in the can, as Tony would say. Jillian, the water is still cold though. Yeah, that's why I've got the pool heater. That was one of the things when we got this house. That was one of the first investments we made. Dana, can I make a request for it to stay in the 70s for a while, please? Well, we do have something of that effect. Here, take a look. All right, so these temperatures are getting warmer, and then we can dive in deeper. And there's also something else that I wanted to chat about today. So 84 is our high temperature today. Obviously, 87, 88, 89. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're getting into near record heat. Then this weekend looking nice, but by Monday, yeah, there's some cooler temperatures right around the corner. So if you're a fan of the cooler, you've got that. If you're a fan of the warmer, you've got that. It's a little bit of everything for everybody. Do want to let you know as well, I've seen several tornado warnings this morning. If you've got friends or family in extreme western Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and then kind of continuing up toward Kentucky, yada, 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 yada. We are watching the threat of tornadoes out that way, okay? So just a heads up, there is a level 2 risk of severe weather out that way today. Level 2 out of 5, meaning scattered. We've already seen tornado watches posted, tornado warnings, so make sure you're aware of all of that stuff if you've got friends or family that live out that way, okay? Okay? All right. In addition to that, just want to make sure you also know that coming up here in just a couple of days, I am 99% now, 99% done with our hurricane forecast. But yeah, in just a couple of days, we are releasing our WESH 2 first warning weather hurricane forecast. A lot of work. I'm working with Jeremy on that. March 1st. March 1st is going to be kind of an interesting day because we're going to do coffee talk in the morning. Jeremy Nelson's going to be joining us. Of course, Jeremy Nelson is my mentor on this long-range forecasting world. He studied under Gary Lezak. I've since become friends with Gary Lezak, and it's all Gary's long-range forecasting. That's kind of the parent. That's the main element to our long range forecasting. But Jeremy and I work in tandem together. We put together our long range forecasts. I do mine separate as he does, and then we compare, we kind of blend, and it's become something really incredible. 75% of the storms from last year were exactly where and when we said that they would be. Did you know that? I thought that's a pretty interesting little tidbit, right? So again, March 1st, a week from today, just a reminder, we are talking hurricanes. We are talking tropics. I know it's way early, 99 days until hurricane season, but we are still monitoring everything. And of course, and I posted this on social media last night, but here's the list. That was the one thing that Jeremy asked me, can you put together the list of storm names so that we can have that ready to go for our web article? Because we've already started working on our web art. You know, it's not just the graphics. There's a whole long article that we put together. And so in conjunction with Coffee Talk, like we're going to do our Coffee Talk at 8 o'clock, and then we're either releasing our long-range forecast online at 8 o'clock or at 11 o'clock. We'll have to chat with him on that. But yeah, so 99 days. Kind of wild to think about that, right? At any rate, here's what I could tell you. It may not be spring yet, but by Friday, we're in the upper 80s. By Monday, we're in the lower 70s. These are high temperatures, so there is a bit of a temperature roller coaster these next couple of days. Just be ready for it. Just be ready for it. Phyllis says it's beautiful outside and the birds are singing. I love Florida. You and I both, Phyllis. This is, I love it here. I don't ever want to live anywhere else. If I have to, I do, but yeah. Tracy says we have the solar and cover the pool, and it's already at 81 degrees. We'll be able to swim this week. It's true. It's true. I love it. I love it. I love it. See, Elizabeth, be good. Be good. Patty, will it be much cooler along the coast? Oh, you mean for next week here? Stand by. Here's your high temperatures for Monday, just as an illustration. So 72 in the metro, kind of upper 60s, lower 70s, just depends on where you are. So is it going to be much cooler? I mean, Palm Coast is going to be to 62 degrees, so it will be a little cooler. Yeah, it will be a little cooler there, for what it's worth. Kenneth, taking this opportunity to wish the impending afternoon Coffee Talk viewers good afternoon because I will be busy today. Oh, that's okay, Kenneth. Thank you for hanging out as you do, as often as you do. Thank you, my friend. I do appreciate it. Beverly, be good. Be good. Let's see here. Nate goes in for x-rays, possible scoliosis at 3 today. Keeping our thoughts with you there, Karen. Jeannie says better to be prepared always. Agreed. Cheryl, nice graphic. You look great. Thank you. Pat says early is better than too late. Good job. Thank you. Well, and that's the thing is we love putting together our long-range forecasts. The entire, I've been telling you, like, yeah, I'm going to run. I've got to do my hurricane forecast. I could tell you, if I open up my text messages here, there it all is. Well, this is last year's stuff. This is last year. Don't think that those maps are any bit of a tell to this year. Those are last year's maps. But yeah, I've got it right here. It's all right here. Yeah. So 2022 hurricane forecast. Again, those are last year's maps. That's not this year's maps. A lot of work. Anybody that's interested, you know how you could tell if somebody's interested in something because they want to learn? I'm all about teaching, and I've been working with several of my meteorologist friends, kind of helping them understand this. But you can always tell. You can always tell who's really interested because they're the ones that are willing to put in the work. Because it's not, if this was easy, everybody would do it, right? It's not easy. Not everybody does it. Yeah, so there you go. It's true. Ree, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Marie, wish the pool was warmer. I understand that. Jeannie says it's absolutely perfect in Ocala this morning. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can understand that. Weather's perfect. However, allergies are not. Yeah, they're in the high category. The allergens, the pollen numbers, they've been in the high category and will continue to be over these next couple of days until we get some good rains. But we're in the dry season, so yeah, not going to happen. Cheryl, happy 2/22/22. Yeah, so today is Tuesday. But it's also another anniversary. Today is the anniversary of the 1998 tornadoes. And I briefly mentioned this morning on my Twitter page. Yeah, that was and still holds to this date the worst tornado outbreak in Central Florida history. February 22nd and 23rd. 42 people lost their lives. 3,000 buildings damaged, 700 buildings destroyed, 7 tornado touchdowns, 3 of which were F3. This was before the enhanced Fujita scale, okay? Here's a look at the map and where those tornadoes touched down, okay? Number 1 was in Volusia County. Number 2, 3, and 5 were across Sumter, Lake, Orange, Seminole, and Volusia counties. And then number 4, number 6 were Polk, Osceola, Orange, and number 7 was over in Brevard County. Now, it's interesting. I was trying to find footage, and I did come up short on this yesterday. But I did find scripts. I did find some scripts. I don't know that this is going to open easily. So this is from the noon. So this is News Channel 2 at noon. That's what WESH used to be called, News Channel 2 at noon, or News Channel 2. And so I pulled all of the script data, and let me just read to you the way that the noon newscast read the day after the tornadoes. The worst of it roared across Central Florida late last night. About 11 o'clock, the first violent tornado touched down, and then for 2.5 hours or so, the storms and nearly a dozen twisters pounded Central Florida. And in the aftermath, devastation the likes of which we haven't seen since Hurricane Andrew hit South Florida back in '92. You're looking at one of the hardest hit areas. A tornado ripped a path through this mobile home park in Osceola County, killing 8 and leveling homes. That was before we had a final number, meanwhile. Early yesterday afternoon, and then before all of that, a waterspout came ashore in Brevard County, which I had forgotten about until yesterday. Then as the main squall line began pushing through, a possible tornado downed trees and power lines in De Leon Springs. It happened at 10:53 p.m. Just 12 minutes later, one person was killed in South Daytona after a tornado touched down. At 11:50, 2 people died in a Winter Garden apartment complex after another tornado. One person was also killed in Orange County. Then at 12:30 in the morning, a tornado killed 11 people as it tore through Sanford, leaving a path of damage all the way to Altamont Springs. And 23 minutes later, 14 people died after a tornado hit Campbell City in Osceola County. Good afternoon, I'm Claire Metz, and I'm Tom Shad. 10 tornadoes hit Central Florida. Again, this is in that moment. But it's so interesting to me also, in reading this script, seeing how many people I work with that covered this 24 years ago. Tom Shad, of course, has moved on, but Claire Metz was the noon anchor that day. Osceola County, probably the worst hit area. So far, 14 people are confirmed dead in that county. 8 of those people lived here at the Ponderosa Mobile Home Park in Osceola County. The tornado had no mercy, just toppling over homes and cars. Here's a map of the areas which were hardest hit. News Channel 2's Michelle Meredith joins us live from the Ponderosa Mobile Home Park with an up-close look at the damage there. Michelle. So that was the script that day. After that, I mean, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Gail Pascal Brown was there. Bob Keeling, who left WESH not long ago and is still working in the community. So I had tried to get Michelle on Coffee Talk this morning. She was good for it, but let me know she had a doctor's appointment this morning. So that's on me. I wasn't able to get her confirmed earlier, but I'll tell you, reading that, and then I read into the 5 p.m. news script. The 5 p.m. news script was Wendy Chioji and John O'Connor. Of course, Wendy's passed away, but if you've watched Wesh as long as I have, reading the script, I heard it in Wendy's voice, and it took me right back there. Yeah. Yeah. It's really something. It's really something. Let's see here. That was a scary day. I lived in Apopka then. Yeah. Kenneth, thank you for the history. Eric reminds us to pay attention to the weather. Well, and I saw somebody said, I don't want to hear about hurricanes 99 days away from hurricane season. And I can understand that. But also, I've got information. Why would I hold it when I could give you information that could help you? Right? If you don't learn from the past, right? So on this day, the February 22nd, 23rd tornado outbreak, let us remember those 42 lives that were lost and so many more that were impacted forever. I'm going to probably do a story on this for Wesh 2 later today. But, yeah. Another thing, does anybody remember, I didn't live in those areas. I can remember watching Brad Nitz, who was a meteorologist at Wesh. He's now up in Atlanta. I can remember watching Brad Nitz that night and looking out my window. I lived at the corner of Aloma and Tuscaloosa in Seminole County at the time. And I can remember looking out and seeing green power flashes, electricity flashes. And it was in that moment as a younger guy that I realized, oh, this is bad. And that was the 98 tornado outbreak. And I can recall during a drive to Volusia County seeing a clearing right near the toll plaza on the 417 where that Sanford tornado had gone through. I can remember seeing a clearing right off the turnpike in Winter Garden where that tornado had gone through. And then my stepfather took us days later, so that the emergency crews had done, he took us, my brother and I, down to the Ponderosa Mobile Home Park. Not in, but we got close enough that we saw some of the destruction. He didn't want us to get too close because he didn't want us to get in the way of anybody. That was the first time with my own eyes that I really saw devastation from the weather. Yeah. Becca says, knowing ahead of time gives you time to get things set up for what's ahead. Absolutely right. History always puts present-day news, including weather, into the proper perspective. That is 100% the way I look at it. 100% correct. Alan, yeah, we lost power. Crazy to think. 98, 99, 2000. So was that 24 years ago? It's crazy to think. 24 years ago. Carl says, maybe if all those people who died had long-range forecast at that time, things would have turned out differently. If nothing else, I can say that forecasting has gotten better. Science has learned more. And so the more we can learn, the better we can be to prepare for these types of things. What do they say? I remember in elementary school we used to sing the cheesy song, Knowledge is Power. But it kind of is, right? I work in the news business, and that's what we operate on. Knowledge is power. Here's what I've learned from the past. Every time a hurricane comes, I run and come back to a palm frond in my driveway. I lived in Jack's, and I think Matthew was coming through. They told us to leave or you will die. I left, and nothing. Well, I could tell you, I never told you to leave or you were going to die. I can tell you there's a lot of hype out there. I don't know what to tell you, though. Are you upset that you didn't have devastation? Because I could tell you with Matthew, I was helping to clean up my in-laws' house as there were shingles and debris all over and they lived beachside. So, are you sad that you didn't have devastation? Here's what I can tell you. I'm not the guy that's going to hype weather. I'm the guy that's going to give you information. I'm the guy that's going to arm you with as much knowledge as you can to help you make an informed decision. I am not going to tell you you're going to die. Now, I do know that there are people that have said things just like that. Like, if you do not leave, you're going to die. I will never do that. That is not who I am. I will give you information. Also, Jacksonville, I feel like Jackson, you know, and I interviewed one of my first job interviews. Maybe my first job interview was in Jacksonville at First Coast News. And I remember gosh, what was his name? I don't think he's on the air up there anymore. Talking to a long-time meteorologist up there, and we were discussing the tropics, and he said that they're like air traffic control. They send them to Florida, or they send them up into the Outer Banks. Like, he's like, Jacksonville, we don't get hurricanes. So if anybody said in Jacksonville that you were going to die from a hurricane, I don't know. You weren't watching this place. You weren't watching this place. That I could tell you. We don't do that. I trust you. Thank you. Those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. Agreed. Agreed. Kenneth, estimated launch date March 1st. Goes satellite. Will this improve our view or more outside of our region of the USA? So I am covering that. Monday, I'm out going to the rocket itself. We're going to be doing stories on that. And then Tuesday, we're taking the Weather Lab out to the launch. So, yeah, we're absolutely covering the rocket launch. Yeah. Is it helping? Yes. It's the next generation of weather satellites. We will talk a lot more about that. And I'm going to, probably today and tomorrow, I'm going to be putting graphics and things together for that. Yeah. You could even go so far as to call him No Hype Eric. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Seems odd to live with no sirens. You know, Oviedo has sirens, but that's it. I will say this. NOAA weather radios. You know, NOAA weather radios. And then, you know, I would say in addition to your NOAA weather radio, shameless plug, but I don't care. In addition to your NOAA weather radio, download the Wesh 2 News mobile app. In addition to, of course, the news headlines, you can get weather warnings, watches. It'll even let you know when storms are approaching your area. So, for what it's worth, I mean, the app's got a ton of information, and it'll let you know. But you need to have two ways. So I always say, have the NOAA Weather Radio as your main source of information, and then, of course, have the Wesh 2 mobile app. Have, like, I think the Red Cross has a tornado app, whatever it is, right? Just make sure that you've got ways to be warned. It is so important, so important. Mike, where hotspots will be this hurricane season will be Houston, Texas, or Key West tie season. What, Mike? Tie season? I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeannie says, love the Weather Lab. I do too. Tammy, when I moved here more than 6 years ago during Matthew, Wesh was my go-to station. We appreciate it. We'll be there for you every step of the way. I always trust and watch my Facebook husband. Karen, no shame, Wesh 2 app plug. Hey, I put enough work into making sure that thing is super cool, so I don't feel bad at all. The weather alerts go off for way too far off distances, it seems to me. So, Betty, you need to make sure to program the NOAA Weather Radio for the SAME technology. That stands for Specific Area Messaging Encoding. That way you can say, if I live in Orange County, you can type it in and only have warnings that go off for Orange County. Okay? Yeah. The app only works if your location is turned on. That's correct. Sorry if I misspell it. Hurricane season hotspots. So, the hurricane season hotspots, we are going to be releasing this year's hurricane season hotspots on March 1st. I will tell you, mum is the word until then. I just need to make sure that I get all of the weather graphics are built. I just need to continue working on our web article. So when are you going up in the chopper? It's funny, I was talking to Manolfi about that yesterday. I have never reported from the chopper. I've been in the chopper many times just to go hang out. But I've never actually done TV from our chopper. Isn't that funny? I've been at Wesh for forever. Isn't that funny? Eric, when will you start LRC for hurricane season? There. March 1st. Chris, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was asked already. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. I'm like, and I know that this is on a delay too. Yeah, March 1st is when we will go over it. I could tell you it's done. I could show it to you now, but I'm not going to because I'm a putz and because I want to make sure that when we release it, it's like releasing it. The web article is written, the whole thing is done. All right? All right. Getting warm, warm, warm these next couple of days, my friends. Yeah. It's going to be a nice and toasty one. Good stuff. All right. Listen. That's it. It's 8:30. I'm going to go take Stella for a walk and do some more work on the article, the web article. All right? My brother says, what a tease. My bad. You know what it is? I want to make sure that it's done and poured over and poured over and poured over. And like, I have a meeting with my boss tomorrow where I'm going to show her the whole forecast, take her through it, help her understand it, because she pays my paycheck, you know? Like, I want to make sure she knows everything. And then in addition to that, it's making sure that Jeremy and I are on the same page up at WJCL and here so that we can, like, I'm making all the graphics for it, and he's authoring most of the web article. So we've worked on the forecast together, and now we're splitting the work that way as well. And so he'll take the graphics, and he may make a tweak or two, and I'll take his web article, and I may make a tweak or two just to make it Central Florida based, whereas his is not, you know. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. I've got the raw data in a PowerPoint document. I've got the computer graphics built, but yeah. So anyway, all right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you today at 3:30. We are going to chat all about what's going on in the world of weather. And of course, make sure you know everything there is to know. In the meantime, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much. Chris says, just tell me, does it look bad for Louisiana? That's all I'm going to tell you. March 1st. Bye, guys.